It's time for the Unscripted Push with DeVonnda Chantel and Ebony S. Bailey. Are you ready to live your best unscripted life? We're ready to jump right into the conversation.
Hey guys, and welcome to another episode of the Unscripted Push Podcast with your girl DeVonnda and...
Say your other name.
It's DeVonnda. Chantel.
And I'm Ebony S. Bailey, and it's welcome. You are welcome to the Unscripted Push Podcast.
No, she ain't say it real. Y'all are welcome to the Unscripted Push Podcast.
It makes my whole body cringe every time. Wow.
And I'm going to keep saying it.
I think she does it on purpose now because she knows it bothers.
I do it on purpose. But the Unscripted...
You need help?
Woo!
Don't
Sorry.
start with the
Y'all
snort.
know I snort, y'all. I be trying not to, but sometimes it just come out.
So last time she wasn't ready to sing the song. Remember, she was stressed out at the top of the last episode.
Right.
And she didn't want to sing
Because I don't like crying in front of people. And I knew Ebony was going to put her psychologist hat on and try to make me cry. And I do not like crying in front of people.
I was so proud of myself. But I should have let her cry longer.
Oh, my God.
So that's my next mission.
Anyway.
Okay.
The Unscripted Push Podcast.
Go ahead, girl.
You got to push. Oh. Push. Oh. Push.
The very next thing we're going to do is have our producer teach us a choreographed push, because we're going to work on that push.
Y'all, I love to dance, but can't dance. I really wish I could dance.
She is the best chair dancer ever.
Ever. These shoulders,
And the facial expression.
She be killing it from the seat. But as soon as I stand up, them legs do not work with the shoulders. I really think
it's mental for you.
It might be.
You tell yourself.
I be thinking too hard.
No, you tell yourself you can't do it.
Yeah, you right.
And then you show us that it just don't work out.
It don't be working.
No.
It don't coordinate.
But it's because you said it, girl. Your words was powerful, honey.
Oh, my words powerful. Give me $1 million tomorrow, Lord. Jesus.
Woo. Yeah, so you could just pay off the rest of the She Woke Up conference.
She Woke Up Look, and all my moving stuff. Yes. Like, Jesus. Come on, God. Do it.
Y'all, this has been a good journey. We originally said we were doing 10 episodes. Mm-hmm. And then I was like, are we really stopping?
Let's keep going. I was like, okay, let's do it.
We've been getting really good feedback, though. Like, for whatever reason, they think I like her, and she really loves me. I told her, you do. I told her, you do. I'm watching you live. I told her that she has been subconsciously loving me for a really long time.
No, I think it's the other way around, because we was looking at stuff. I was like, girl, I've been on all your stuff. It was like 2000. I had sent you something from 2020. And I was like...
That's when I told you, you've been subconsciously loving me all this time. She thought I told you, okay, if you go back and you watch our initial thing, she was like, yeah, some people really don't know you, Ebony, because they think you somewhere, I think they think I'm on the heavens and floating in the clouds. And she's like, I'm over there praying. So she thought that about me too.
Oh, yeah.
Y'all, the very first time she went
on a trip
with us, like my sister, we went to May Jace in Asheville. And that's coming up in July, y'all. It's going to be in Durham. Go to Marcus website, get your tickets. But look, so she had the nerve. Did she ask Chris? You asked Chris?
Yeah.
She asked my sister, because this is how I didn't realize that I was in the pre-associate bucket. So, she got levels to her friendships. So the pre-associate bucket. But she decided she was going to ride in the car with us and stay in the Airbnb. She gonna ask Krista, is she gonna listen to gospel music, like worship music serious. The whole way?
Cause y'all know I love all of it, from trap, the country to jazz, gospel. I can listen to all of it. I guess
she thought we were gonna have a prayer vigil all the way to Asheville.
Really did. I didn't even know you knew the words to Brandy and Monica. I was like, dang, you was singing it one day. I said, what? Girl, you know them lyrics.
Brandy's one of my favorite artists.
Mine too. Brandy is like my number one. Of course, Fantasia, like people like that. Jasmine Sullivan. I love them.
But she tried to act like I only know Keep Me Near the Cross. And what?
Oh, I love you, Lord. Thought we was going to be in the car worshiping. Then I was going to have, after I worship, I put my headphones on, listen to some Rick Ross or something.
Oh my God.
The Lord's still working on me, y'all. What B. Simone say last night? Yeah. The Lord is still working on me. I know that's right, girl. Me too.
So we're going to talk about some stuff today.
Yeah.
We wanted to dive into a little bit of triggers. Triggers, they pop up everywhere. Like, it's not necessarily just in, relationships. They pop up at work. They pop up in church world. They just pop up all over the place. And so you never ever know when it's going to happen. Like, that's the thing about a trigger.
Yeah.
Like, you could be watching a show on TV and you hear a statement and you flash back. And the person you watching the show with, they don't even know what's happening. They don't even understand that you just got well, my mom said you don't teleport, but you done got teleported back into another space, and you're like, oh my gosh, and that person doesn't even understand why your mood has changed, why you have shut down, all these things that have happened, and the walls that you tore down, those triggers start putting those bricks back up. And that thing is serious. And you don't realize when it's happening. So we wanted to dive into a little bit of triggers. And we wanted to talk, we were going to start it because she keep trying to not be my friend in real life.
I knew you was going to say that.
I got proof.
You was going to say.
I made sure I had my phone, so if I had to pull it up, I could. So she has these triggers and this trauma from the past that just, she is in this whole, I don't want no new people in my life. And the more she says she don't want it, the more the Lord says more new people.
I'm like, oh my God. Like, God just be doing everything I don't want to happen. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm good with my circle. I don't need no new friends. Here come Ebony trying to get close.
I didn't try to do nothing to her.
Then some other people, I was like, no, God, come on now. This is too much, because I think my trigger is because I do suffer with rejection. So I feel like when you kind of put yourself out there and you really start, new people try to get to know you, and then it's some form of rejection that comes, it triggers me. And I'm just like, are they going to reject who I really am? Because I don't let people, people think they know me, but they really don't know me. And there's so many things I feel like that's in a vault within me that I haven't shared with a lot of people. And it's hard to get in there, because, like I was telling my girlfriend last night, I was like, I know Crystal tired of us mentioning her name.
We're going to say, come around that camera.
I was telling her last night, basically that I need to feel safe with people. And then when I start to feel safe and comfortable, I get scared. And so I pull.
She pushed you in the hallway.
I pull
and close the door
all the way back, because I'm like, woo, this getting a little too comfortable for me, And I think since, like she said, I'm like a machete, like I cut people off. When I really deeply, truly love you and care about you, and I take you in and I really feel comfortable telling you everything, it's harder for me to release, and it's harder for me to let go of that type of person. And it's like, I don't be wanting to feel that type of pain.
And I'm the other way. So, and then we kind of dialogued about that a little bit, because y'all, she does. I'll notice sometimes she'll just kind of it'll get days. And I'm like, this little heifer is trying not to talk to me. And so then I'll say something a little bit, and then she'll eventually, yeah, but I'm just working on it. It's not you, it's me. I'm like, girl, I'm not getting ready. And so the last time something happened, I had to say, Ebony, it has nothing to do, like for me, I was like, it has nothing to do with me. I said, you can
tell them what I said.
I just love a little girl till she get her life together. And I said, I'm going to keep doing it because for me, I think my issue is not the letting people in, it's the letting people go. Like I told y'all, I'm almost at my first chip. I think I got it.
Yeah, you doing good.
Got it. I got it. I was proud of myself, y'all. We'll talk about that one day. But I know I did. And so mine is the letting go because I know that I've invested so much and I've given. So it's not letting in, it's the letting go. And then the non-closure part, that's my trigger in that piece. But for us, I laugh because I don't be trying to want to talk to you sometimes. And then it just happened. And then she says, I'm probably not going to tell you this. And then eventually, in the same breath, it just comes out. And I said, Ebony, be to people what you want others to be to you. And we had a fight. Well, not a fight, but we had our very first counseling session. We went to Georgia one time because she kept saying, our producer back there going like this because she said she's that good. She kept saying, I'm not your sister, because that was who I always compared everybody to because that's been the most consistent person in my life. And I never had to question that with her. So I can be mad. I can fuss. I can say I don't feel confident in this area. I can say all these things, but then I can still stand go speak somewhere about the thing I just said I don't feel confident in. And she's supporting me in that because she knew that was not me. That was me in that space of, okay, she needs to get this out. I'm going to let her have her moment.
And that's exactly what I feel. Like when you try to be safe with people, are you going to, especially when you're in a public eye or, where God has taken us and stuff and doing things or whatever, having those safe, places with people, are they going to put your business out? Because there are things that I'm still dealing with. Those are things that I'm still struggling with. So to really be open to a person and bare almost like you naked, even though I love being naked, y'all, naturally.
Jesus.
Just God should have
don't go on a trip with her.
God should have made me when he made Adam and Eve, because I promise you, I love it, but in the natural. But really,
we'll have a whole conversation. Like if she could record this, I'm trying to tell y'all, it would just be a big blur right here, so that we wouldn't get pulled off of YouTube.
I am so free. I'm like such a free person. People be like, you dress up and stuff at home. Don't come to my house.
Don't FaceTime me unannounced,
and don't FaceTime me without telling me that you calling. It's so funny because Tisa called me yesterday. She said, you got some clothes.
That's a shame.
All my friends though. But anyway, I got sidetracked. But you have to be really naked with a person. Even with relationships, not just friendships, but relationships, you're opening yourself up to somebody to really, really know who you are and to be able to still look at you on a platform and not judge you for the person that they saw a couple of days ago.
Or the breakdown they saw. Because they have to understand the difference between you moving in your gifting and your anointing versus you having because even Jesus had moments where he didn't feel confident or he's like, Lord, why are you doing it? Let this cup pass for me. Like all of those things. So he had moments. So why can't we?
Yeah. And I had some experiences in the past that I got open with people and they would expose, and I'm like, wow. That conversation wasn't meant for other people. That was the conversation me and you had between each other. I felt safe with you in that moment. So why would you go talk to other people about what I told you? You know what I'm saying? So it like kind of make me drawn back, even with, all my friendships. I'm like, and I know I have some good friends. Like I love my friends to death, but it's just like, sometimes you're just like, can I really share this with this person? Can I really talk to this person about this? Can I really open up about this and they not see me in another way?
Well, you also have to realize that as you get older, and the thing that I've heard you say that you've been praying for is discernment. And when you are a person that sees and you feel, the more you start to develop your relationship with God and you start spending time, you will see differently. But then that old stuff is still going to be there. And you have to learn to turn that down and not, like people say that don't bring your old baggage into new relationships, because you do punish people for triggers. Like they ain't even know that if they did this, that's going to flip you out. You like, oh my gosh, the last time somebody did such and such, that made me go to, and they're like, wait, I was just playing. Like I didn't mean nothing by that. And that was a trigger for you, but I didn't know that because you didn't open up to tell me these things. And so now you're responding or reacting in a way to something that did not even have that intention. And if you would have been vulnerable enough to just say, okay, this is me. And this is who I am. And this is how I feel. And if you can't take me for this, then that's it. And so for me right now, the way I am, trying to trust a different way. I'm trusting in a way where, okay, God, if this person mishandles me, you're going to take care of them. I don't have to do anything else with that. So I'm not trying to fix it anymore. I'm not trying to make things better, or I'm not trying to dumb down who I am and dim down my light. All of those things, I'm not going to do that. And I'm not going to push away the new people that you're sending in my space because of that. Like, this last year, I've lost, but I've also gained.
Yeah.
And then the ones that have come, and it's not been a lot, it's literally been a handful, because God can do so much more with less sometimes.
Yeah.
And then you also don't have to wonder what's out and what's getting out, because you know your safe spaces. And then if that space no longer is safe, God will seal it up and they'll move on out the way. And so I'm trusting in the space of, okay, God, if this person mishandles me, I can tell them how I feel, but ultimately they have to answer to you because of who I am. So I'm trusting in that way to not push others away, because there are sometimes that God's not going to keep sending, like he's like, you keep pushing them away, they're not going to keep coming back. Or if they don't feel trusted enough, they're not going to keep coming back. So now, yes, I had something for you in that relationship, but you kept repelling them. And they're like, I don't want them to feel like who they are is rejected. So I'm not going to keep putting them in that situation. So I'll separate the two.
And I had to learn that I God had convicted me, like, you deal with rejection, but you're rejecting other people as well. So, I had a conversation, with a friend, and he was just like, why do you keep like pushing away, or why do you keep rejecting? And I was like, dang, the same thing I hate, I'm doing to other people, like rejecting them, rejecting their love, rejecting their compassion. And it goes back to like, do you really think that you're worthy of the love that you give?
My issue was, I didn't think that other people outside of my sister would give me back what I give them. And that's why I showed up in that people-pleasing world so much, because I kept giving, hoping that it would be boomerang back. And then it wasn't until we just used the studio a lot. When I was supposed to be doing She Will Go Couch Conversations, and I recorded one episode with you, Crystal, and Marquita. And I said, my prayer into the next year was, God, send me a me. That I don't have to coach them on how to love me. They understand my love languages, and they actually love me in the way I need to be loved. And they hear me and they support me in that way, because I'm going to do that anyway for them. So I'm learning now that it's okay, the rejection, because I deal with rejection too. We talked about that before, but the rejection for me is now I'm actually seeing it as the thing that you hear people say, God's protection. Like I'm actually seeing that now, and they don't always feel good now. It sucks. Like it hurts. If you hit your toe and you hit it the right way, that hurts. And you have to, you have to deal with that pain for a while because it don't go away right away. But it will. It will.
Yep. And it's like, I know, and another trigger just to talk about it is like, I don't think I talked about it, but I don't remember if I did, but me and my dad don't have a relationship now. He was in my life, until my 20s and stuff like that, in and out, because he was dealing with his own things. But I think that rejection and how I move in relationships too, because I used to ask God, like, why I'm single. And I was single because of me. And a lot of the things, they had their issues too, but I was single because of me, because I was a runner. Like, just cut it off. Like, if it get too heavy or it's too thick, or I'm like, this getting a little too thick, I would like let them go, or I would find a reason to cut them off, or I would block them and stuff like that. And I had to realize in therapy, because I'm an advocate for therapy, is that it stemmed from the relationship with my father. And it's like I didn't want to see where it would actually go, because I was scared that they was going to actually leave anyway. So I would like push men away, or push people away. And there was some good men, I have to say, that came into my life that I actually ruined it. A lot of women not going to own up to that, but there were, and I just wasn't ready for them emotionally, or, emotionally. I just was not ready for those type of relationships. But I realized that rejection was my trigger. Being scared was my trigger. Being vulnerable and emotional with people was my trigger. And it's so crazy because as open and authentic as I am, a lot of people don't know a lot of things about me. It's be funny that people like, oh, I know you do this. I'm like, I know you. It's funny when people say, I know you like to be in a crowd full of people. I know you like to be seen. I'm like, do I? You really don't.
She really just want to take some pictures.
You really don't know. So it's that's it. Or can you take my picture? All right, y'all ready?
Or she'll check out while she's sitting at the table with everybody.
I will, and that's crazy. Crystal be like, I can see you going down. Like, you just, like, my whole demeanor changed. I be in a crowd of people and won't see nobody. Like, I just be by myself in my head, and then till somebody be like, "Are you still here? Y'all right?"
No. Girl, I done grocery shopped and everything in my head. No, but you do that in friendship world, because I told her she keeps trying to leave me in the hallway, y'all.
Because Ebony is the type of person is so she's deep. Like, I don't want to say like
the ocean.
No, because I don't want people to take it as, oh, I knew she was deep. I'm talking about when it comes to like her words and how she thinks and how she talks to you to get feedback, and it makes you really look within yourself, or it makes you really want to have a conversation. So when you have a friend like that, it's hard for you to give them minimum. Like, I can't give you the basics like I can give somebody else. Somebody else will be okay with the basics, but you'll be like, well, what do you think about that? And how do you? I'm like, that.
See, look, what she said, the Lord's still working on me. Yes. So she can't even finish her sentence. Look.
I was trying to catch myself for Travis Travis. But Travis have to cut something out. But like, this girl right here get on my nerves, because she know she'll say things that have you wanting to like vomit stuff. And
I don't be trying to provoke you to throw up. I don't. I just,
like your mouth just start just running and stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh, it's kind of scary to me, because I'm like, oh, she really gonna know me. Like, she really, really gonna know me. And, outside of like my best friend and my mom and stuff like that, like, people don't really know me. They're learning stuff later, and they're like, little stuff by little, like, oh, I didn't know that. Now I'm learning that, because I didn't give people the opportunity.
You got that part, and you got to realize that you say people don't know you in like maybe the depths or they don't have the details. But the more you spend time with people, they do pick up on things, and they pick up on how you feel, and they pick up
especially
on
now,
your facial expressions. They pick up on your body language. They could feel your energy shift and change at times, or things of that sort. So like you and Crystal go out a lot, like when you go watch and stuff. And so there may be things that she may not have voiced to you that she knows, or that she picked up on, but she will. But
you all right?
But she sees that because she's known you in that way, because there's been a relationship outside of just everyone else.
Yeah.
And so as you start building relationships, the problem that shows up or the challenge that shows up in some relationships are the triggers from past stuff. And those are usually the unresolved wounds that we just keep going over. Like those traumas that maybe you didn't even realize it was a trauma. But that hurt you, and it changed your perspective on stuff. And so now when you see a certain thing, it takes you back, like a song that you ain't heard in years.
Yeah.
You would know all the parts of it. Like you could sing all the ad libs and everything. You know, a scent takes you back somewhere. And so with trauma and triggers, it like just brings you back to that moment. And if it wasn't a place that you found healing and you got resolved, now you're reliving that wound, but you're reliving it with somebody else that really ain't had nothing to do with it.
And then when, you know, and I talk about it in my book, like when you go through like abuse and verbal abuse and different things like that, that trauma hinders you from people as well, not just relationships, but people and their perceptions and who are you really? Do you really have my best interests at heart? Can I be safe with you if I tell you what I'm facing? You know, like even with being a confidence and talking and speaking into other people and stuff, there are times where I'm not secure with who I am when it comes to like speaking or, you know, doing different things that God has called me to do. And I'm just like, you know, and I told you about that situation that somebody had said, but I'm just like, when you try to be safe, have a safe space with people, and then they come and they say these things to you, you're just like, I'm just not going to tell people what I'm feeling. You know, so when you have that, and it's not to negate our relationship or relationships with other people, because I know I can. It's something that I'm dealing with that I have to work through, and it's just that I don't want you to think it's you, because sometimes we'll like, oh, it got to be me, or why she won't do this? Because I know when you said it kind of hurt me, because I was just like, no, Ebony, it's not you. And you was like, well, I told myself that it wasn't.
I'm like, I ain't the problem. I done took on so many problems from other people that I said, no, I ain't the problem.
It's not you.
It is not me. I didn't do
and
nothing.
I tell a person, like, it's not you. It's really me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not you. It's really me.
It's not you.
That's my lie. It's not you. It's really me.
I was like, you're right. But I said, you're right.
You're right. She did. She did this time. She's like, I had to just say no. And that's something she's working through. I was so proud of you.
Because I was like, I ain't texting her. I am not calling her. I might not record the next episode with her. No, I'm playing, y'all.
She ain't playing. That probably all went through her head. Oh, she don't need me. Oh, I'm going to do it.
I was like, I ain't sending her no more reels on Instagram. And I'm going to take her out my reel list.
And I'll be like, oh, and I'll say something to Ebony. And Ebony be like, you don't have to say the disclaimer in the beginning. Just say what you going to say. Like, you treating her like,
I'm 2.
You 2 years old. Like, I don't want to tell you this, but I'm going to say this anyway. And she was like, stop doing that. But yeah, triggers, it comes in different types of forms, even in the workplace. Like, people can say something that just trigger you. Like, I had a director tell me, oh, you didn't do this right. And that's a trigger to why I was like, why would you get so angry? Just ask her, okay, what didn't I do right with this? The old DeVonnda would have been like, in an email, what do you mean? I didn't do this right. So sometimes people can say things that trigger a reaction out of you. And it's like, I'm learning that I can't just pop off on everybody either. And not feeling protected, you know, in my childhood, being an only child and, you know, not having siblings, or, you know, not feeling like you had that protection. And I wasn't close to like my cousins, like most families, like they really, really close to their cousins and you got that protection and stuff like that or whatever. I never felt like protected. So I always had to defend myself. So it was just like, if somebody was coming for me, then I'm going to pop off.
So
I'm
you
gonna
didn't
get you.
think nobody was going to stand up for you, so you always had to stand up for yourself?
Yeah, I thought that, but later in life, when it came to having family conversations with my cousins and stuff, they was like, you never gave us the opportunity.
So how many opportunities do you think?
I have had a lot of opportunities with relationships. I'm telling you, it's me. I'm just saying these are the things that trigger me, but I'm telling you, it's been me. So even with relationships, me in relationships, even with my cousins, like people have said, I really have not given them the opportunity to be a part of my life and be who it is that I need them to be.
Do you know what point it stops for those? Like, is it always at the same thing? Is it, because sometimes, for me, like I'll say, Ebony, what is the point where you feel stuck or you feel like I can't, this is the part where I'm like, nope, I can't do this. Like it's always the same space. Do you know what point it is? Is it, and that may not be because when I realized that for myself, I had to slowly inch myself past that. But I had to know what it was so that when I got to that spot, I wouldn't retreat because I did it so much that it was automatic.
Yeah.
So when I figured out the spot it was, and that's when I found out that I was dealing with rejection. And I said, okay, well, what point do you feel rejected? What is the action that's happening at that moment that causes the rejection to that flag to go up for you? And then you start retreating. So what point is that? Okay, now when you get to that point, what are you going to do to go past that? Because they coach you in other worlds to, okay, when you get there, that's us in therapy, sit in that emotion. Okay, sit there. What do you feel? Because it's an emotion, it will change, but you allow that emotion to overtake you and then you go back.
I think it's actually allowing a person to be or do what it is that they say they're going to do. So it's like I try to get in front of it before I feel that emotion. So even with my birthday, like I had somebody tell me like, you don't even give us an opportunity to plan your birthday or do anything for your birthday. And I think I've always planned my own birthdays in order to feel like disappointed.
I do that too.
Because I didn't feel like nobody would do it like, do anything for me. So it's like I would plan the big trips or I would plan this and stuff like that or whatever. And so one of my girlfriends was like, you don't even give us an opportunity, because I never had a surprise party. And she was like, you don't even give us an opportunity to do something. So they'll ask me what I'm doing. Oh, we going to St. Bart. We going to this or New Orleans and this. Like, you don't even give us an opportunity to do anything for you. And I think it's just a defense mechanism to avoid being disappointed by people. So
yeah. That's how I have that same problem. I know the one year Travis tried to surprise me, I stressed him out. I mean, I had a whole tantrum at the house and I was just like, because I did the same thing. I planned what I wanted to do. I didn't even know that he had talked to somebody and they had this whole thing at the person's house. They had food and my favorite colors and everything there. And I was at the house with an attitude. I was like, just never mind. And he looked like I pulled his hair out. He ain't even got none. Like, stressed him out because he was trying to do what I said no one's ever done for me. And I was like, oh. And so from that point, I think I messed up because I gave him such a hard time.
Not you think you messed up.
I think I did. No, I think so. So it took it. He didn't try anything else like that for a while, and I was like, I don't even know if he realizes that, but I stressed that man out. Like he knows I love a game night, and that's what they had. They had a game night for me. I love a good game night. I love just like a group of people enjoying themselves. We had some food, we had whatever, but it took him a lot to get me there because I was like, I'm done. I think he had text Crystal. He was like, I can't get her out of the house. Like, I was just like, forget it. I wanted to go. I had planned myself somewhere to go to eat and go bowling at King's and all of that stuff. And so when he said that he was taking me somewhere else, I was like, what do you mean? I plan my own. I plan my own thing, so I know what to expect.
Right, exactly. And it's scary though. It's just like, let people love you.
That's the hard part.
And that's the hard part. And let them love you how they know how to be loved. Like, you can't tell people how to actually love you. So, in certain ways, certain things you can tell them, like what you need and stuff like that. But you can't tell people like, oh, I need you to love me this way. Oh, I need you to love me that way.
But it'll come when they start to develop the relationship with you, and then they start learning how you like to be loved. Your love language. Like we talked about love languages.
Oh, yeah.
Like mine is acts of service. And so that makes sense why I guess it is a trigger, like for me. Like it makes sense why to cause myself not to be triggered, I plan so that I can be happy with what I plan, so that I don't be mad that you ain't do what I thought you should have did, and you should have known to do it because you paid attention to me. But that means if you didn't pay attention to, like, this is a whole spiral.
Right.
So I was like, to avoid that, let me just plan it. So I can be happy with my acts of service to myself. And until someone else understands, this is what she wants. So mine is that and quality time. That's why I like one-on-one stuff. I like intimate groups and stuff like that, like to have conversations or whatever, especially ones that, we laugh, we joke, but then we also can for real show up for one another. So for me with the trigger, that's funny. I do that. My trigger is, people don't know how to love me the way I want to be loved, so I'm going to help them. I'm going to help them not get in trouble with me. So I'm not going to let you get mad. I'm not going to make myself get mad at you. So I'm just going to take that opportunity away. So I'm just going to plan it, and then you just show up. You just show up.
But I think it just takes away the surprise, like when you have to control everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like, let them do how they want to do it. Because sometimes you think you want to be loved a certain type of way until you exposed to something else, or somebody exposed you to something new. You're like, man, I didn't even realize I needed that, or I didn't even realize I liked that.
Yeah, she didn't realize she liked talking on the phone.
I'm looking at Chris. I meant to look at the camera.
She does.
When I really got something to say.
Okay.
I don't like small talk though.
Yeah,
I like conversation, because I'm like, what do you want?
Our producer about fell off her stool just then. She
like, hello, they'll like be like, hey, how you doing? How's everything going? I'm like, girl, get to the point. Like, what? I'm fine. Like, what's the tea? Like, what's going on? Give it to me. USCT's good for that. Hey. And then you take a brief pause, and I'll be like, what's up? Like, get to it. Tell me. And I know you be having stuff to tell me, or something to say, or something that happened juicy, or something I need
Why gotta be juicy?
You be having, your life is
it is not a Tubi movie.
It's not a Tubi movie.
Okay, I was going to say, do not.
What's the other one? He's my Amazon Prime. I'm like, girl, what the happened today? You be having stuff to talk about. But I just think, like, with triggers and stuff, like, I'm learning to let people love me. I'm learning to pull back and let people plan stuff and do things for me. Like, even for my birthday this year, this is the first year I'm not doing anything.
I asked her, and she's like, I don't know.
I'm not doing anything. And so I was like, I'm gonna let it be free. And then my best friend was like, you're not doing I'm coming down. I was like, okay. She was like, what we doing? No, she was like, you want to do pedal boats or something like that? She's talking about, we too big for the pedal boats. I said, girl, I don't know. We be a billionaire trying to do the little thing or whatever, but I ain't playing nothing. I said, I'm just gonna go with the flow this year. I'm gonna do something really, really new. It's giving me anxiety because usually I need to save my money, so I usually would be then flew somewhere, but I'm not gonna do nothing. I'm gonna so pray my strength on the Lord that y'all don't call me and be like, where you at?
She in Africa.
Puerto Rico.
She done broke down and went to the island.
No, I'm really gonna relax and because this year's been crazy so far. I think I'm just thankful for another year. I'm gonna relax and kind of, cause May is a busy month. Like, it's something every weekend. So,
I know for triggers for me, I talked about this. I'm trying to grow my little TikTok following, y'all.
And you killing it too.
So
Y'all follow her on TikTok to get that daily motivation.
Yes, my wake up moment.
That daily medicine.
I was talking about being triggered, and I have learned that I am proud of the fact that I have not allowed my triggers to stop me this time. So it's okay to be triggered. It's the response on the other side of it. So you can have that moment, oh, that was a painful moment, but it doesn't have to paralyze you. And for so long, I allowed it to paralyze me. And I allowed myself to get stuck in it in the sorrow side of it, not the productive side of it. That thing I say, fruitless frustrations. I was like, I'm not getting ready to deal with, if I'm going to be frustrated, it's going to produce something good. Like I'm going to take that and I'm going to spin it for that all things working together for my good. I'm going to spin it the other way. But I said this time, the triggers are not going to stop my progress forward, because that's the area that I get attacked in. And they come up at random moments. Like I could watch TV, or I could see a post of something, or I could see something happen. And I'm like, Facebook memories is good for that.
Yes.
That's a demon.
I posted him. When did I post him? Let me delete this right now.
It's like a whole, it's like, and it
friendships, relationships.
It brings back up these cycles, and those, and not all of them were bad things. Sometimes it's reminding you of good times that you no longer have. And that's a trigger. And you're like, dang.
It's like a picture had came up and I was like, dang, I'm not friends with none of them in that picture anymore. Like a picture came up from, I think that was like 2010, maybe 2011 picture. Not friends with any of them, but we had some good times. I started laughing and thinking about some of the memories and how we used to travel and do things. And we had a really good time, but that season was up. I was like, wow, it's crazy. Like it was 4 of us in that picture and none of us are friends with each other anymore.
And triggers can be traumatic if you don't identify what they are. And that's how the enemy plays with you. Like he allows, when it's not exposed, you're constantly covering up to say, oh no, I don't have a problem with that. No, I don't have a problem with that. And then when it happens and you react, and then you're like, oh nope, I got to cover this back up. He plays with you in that space. But then if you say, nope, I got an issue with that and I'm working on it. I'm real about that. Like this hurt me. And I'm actually still bleeding, but I am in the healing process. Yeah. And this is what healing looks like. I was talking to one of my new people that she probably watching this. Hey, Christina. She said, Ebony, I like that you're in this. She said that she sees me in the space of God is healing you in the forefront of other people. Like people is watching your progression. Like they're watching your progress. Like you're able to talk about it and now they see it. Like they can see when it happened and now they'll see as you evolved and grew from it. Right. Good. And I was like, that is so true because when we started this, one of the hardest things that happened to me in a long time happened right when we started this. And there was an evolution of all of that. And it doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt, but my trigger, because I have been triggered from that, my trigger hasn't invoked a traumatic response that paralyzed me. Like now I can talk about it and I can still keep talking and I'm like, she don't got to run and give me no tissue.
Because honestly, that situation could have triggered you not to even want any more friendships.
Yeah.
Just like I said with relationships and stuff, sometimes things happen in a relationship. Like, I'm done with relationships. I don't want to be with nobody.
What you say? No new friends. No new
that
people.
Was me. When 2024, I was like, I don't want no man. I don't want no more friends.
Oh, I'm sorry. Now we know that's a lie. We got to sew this up. She would need a chastity belt.
I said lash.
She would need a whole chastity belt, vault, and I had to give my mama the key.
Oh, you know that thing gonna be open. So I walk down there. You hear me? Smooth. But I said that last year. I was like, I don't want no new friends. I don't want no man, no nothing at all. And this year,
Look,
I got both, don't I?
Look, and every time she get somebody else, she's like, "Why these people want to be
My
friend?
friend? I don't
Do they know what this means? Do they understand, y'all? You got this. I actually filled out. Shout out to Ashley. She told me, she texted me, Ebony, you need to fill out your friendship survey.
She did.
I did, and she didn't send it back.
Cause you gonna wait just like you made me wait.
I was about to punch you. I was about to go.
But yeah, so I am I have accepted new relationships because they have been beneficial this year. I can't even talk. Shut up.
You seem violent. And she said I was violent.
No, just because they saw that on camera. Go ahead and punch me. But but yeah, so new relationships are building in my life, and I'm so excited about.
I know. I'm
so excited about it.
There's new relationships, but there's also new versions of ourselves. Like the biggest part of, I can say, with the trauma response to being triggered for me is, and this is my lesson in all this, I am celebrating the fact that I am strong enough to identify that that's a trigger. And now I'm putting stuff in place to further prevent that from stopping me, because I could see the pattern of it doing that over a long span of time. I've been more free.
Yeah.
Since I've identified, it doesn't mean that the issue's gone. I've identified it, and I'm not trying to cover it up, because I love everything polished, y'all, and put together. And me, myself, I want to make sure all is smooth. Like, that's just who I am. And I want to be presented a certain way. But God was like, you don't have to be perfect. And so in that, you can show that hurt you. You can show that you're healing from it. You can show that there are times that trigger does pop off, and it makes you actually angry again, but you don't stay there.
Yep. And it's taught me to not stop pushing people away who's trying to love me. And also just be who I am. Let people be who they want to be to me. It just taught me a lot when it comes to actual triggers. Like, I'm still working through some things and being mindful of the things I say, how I say them, letting people show up for me, allowing them to show up for me, being more vulnerable, being more open, and not being scared to show who I truly am, to people that deserve it, and using my discernment, because I know that I have some amazing friends and some amazing people in my life that I can
keep going.
Amazing
You're
friends.
Just shining a light on us.
People in my life that I can be vulnerable with, that I know that I have a safe space with. So, and I don't have to do this life alone.
And that is one of the things that the enemy doesn't want you to know. Because if you can keep blocking off the connection,
that's what he wants.
He is trying to, then there's something on the other side of it that you can't get, because you haven't fully let go. And like, is that really trusting? That's that whole trust fall thing I talk about, looking to make sure the person gonna catch you. You can't do that.
I can't do that.
And it's not even really trusting the person, is you trusting God in the way of, I will protect you from whatever. If it's literally all things working together, that even in a fall, you can still recover from that, and I can make that work for your good.
And it's like, even with where God is taking me, just having that discernment, being vulnerable, and being able to know who to trust, who not to trust, who he has in your life, and allow people to pray for you, get you through these tough times and different things that you're going through, because you cannot go through life alone. So when people's like, I don't have nobody, or I don't have friends, I'm like, you need somebody in your life. I tell people all the time, even if it's just one authentic person that you really, really, really can trust, because you need somebody that you can be vulnerable with.
Yep.
Because our mind play tricks on us, and it takes another person to really sit and be like, okay, no, we're not doing that. Or this is what I see in you. and speak life back into you with who you are. So that's what I'm learning. And I really started learning it this year. Like just letting go. I didn't think I had control issues, but I do have some control issues in certain aspects. And I snort, guys. I try not to, but I do when I get really weak. You make me sick. I'm gonna stop looking at you. I'm gonna start looking at the camera and start talking to the people.
Yeah, she snorts and it be, oh my gosh, it'd be something. Now, if she starts snorting, Crystal start rolling on the floor, like it just be a whole situation.
I'm so embarrassed you guys seeing me snort. But that's
3 times.
3 times on this episode.
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
Unscripted. But yeah. So I'm just what is your you said what your lesson was, so
what, you want me to get a takeaway?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like not your lesson, but your takeaway from
today?
Mm-hmm.
It really is to just keep identifying those spaces and being honest with myself. When I see it, identifying that space and not allowing that to stop me, because there's so much more ahead of me.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to constantly grow and change. And every time we grow and change, I was listening to Darius Daniels this morning, and every time we grow and change, that's what's going to happen. Like you're going to have to reassess and you're going to have to reset and you're going to have to go through these things. And it doesn't mean that you have failed or you're not making progress forward, but you have to reassess the new spaces that you're in and figure out who you are. So my lesson is to keep going forward and identifying those things and not letting it stop me.
Are you going to be open to new relationships in this season?
I am. I actually am. I'm trusting that if y'all do me wrong, the Lord's going to get you.
He will, though.
He gonna get your tail.
Will, I'm telling you.
Because he loved me and he's shown me that he does.
Yeah.
And it's an honor and a privilege to be loved by God. And then for him to know that there's connection and then there's partnership in lots of things. And he's like, okay, you two can do so much together. You 3 can do so much together. This group right here can set the world on fire. And I really believe that he's building that around me right now. And it's not, there's anything wrong with people that were previously there, but he's like, where you're going, I need it to look this way.
Yeah.
And then there will be some that come along with you, but where you're going, I need it to look this way. And I'm helping you all figure out that there are other gifts on the inside of you that you haven't tapped into yet. And now because I'm moving you in this space, it's causing the people around you to tap into the gifts, and I'm stirring up the gifts that's inside of them that they didn't even know that they could do.
Yeah, B. Simone was talking about that last night. She kind of ministered, and I'm touching Crystal. I'm like, yeah, girl, get that consultant. Crystal is going to start her consulting business. You know, come to me for how much she going to charge. Pay me, and I'll pay her.
You always got to be the finance person.
Yeah, because I need to cover the money for her. I already owe her $1 million.
Right. And every time we record, it goes up in her studio. Using her electricity and everything.
But yeah, this is a season of divine alignment. So you have to be on this path where you just let people be who they're going to be in your life, because you don't know who God is assigning to your life in this season. Because it's like people is just coming out the woodwork, and I'm like, oh, you live in Texas, or you live here, or you know. So I'm just letting God be God, not controlling anything anymore, and letting divine alignment happen in my life. And it's actually more peaceful, because your mind is more at ease, and you're just like, okay, I'm just going to let everything do what it do on its own. When you're trying to control it, you're constantly thinking, you're overthinking, you're trying to control the situation. So it's like now I'm at a smooth pace. I'm just like, okay, I'm just going to let God handle. I'm not trying to think about this or overthink. I'm not trying to stress about it. Whatever happens, happens. And he always work it out every single time. Yep. Well, guys, we hope you enjoyed this episode of us talking about triggers. I hope that you guys get the help that you need when it comes to triggers. Identify what they are so that you can move past them and you can move forward and allow people to love you and allow people to do things for you. You are not alone. You are loved. And we out.
So
come for the laughs.
Stay for the lessons. Because becoming your best self is better unscripted. That shoulder
Giving
work.
them little yellow shoulder.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of the Unscripted Push. Here's a question for you. How will you live unscripted this week? Catch you next time.